Welcome back to Ego and Empathy, the podcast where we explore the psychology behind human behavior and the subtle ways it shapes our lives. I'm your host, Mandy, and today we're talking about a subject that often hides in plain sight, but can leave deep emotional scars: narcissistic women. When people think of narcissism, they often imagine a man, someone loud, confident, maybe even domineering. But narcissism doesn't belong to one gender. Women can be just as manipulative, just as controlling, and just as emotionally destructive. They just express it differently. At first, a narcissistic woman can seem magnetic. She's captivating, articulate, often deeply intuitive. She knows how to make you feel chosen, how to make you believe she sees something in you that no one else ever did. She might seem nurturing, funny, protective, or even spiritual. But underneath that warmth is something colder, a deep need to control how others see her and how others feel about her. A narcissistic woman doesn't necessarily crave admiration the way a grandiose man might. What she craves is emotional power. She wants to be at the center of every relationship, every story, every emotion. She thrives on knowing she can influence how others feel, whether that's through charm, guilt, or fear. You can often recognize her by the emotional patterns she creates. At the beginning, she idealizes you. You're amazing, inspiring, irreplaceable. She floods you with attention and affirmation. It feels intoxicating, like you've finally found someone who truly gets you. But slowly, almost imperceptibly, that energy shifts. Suddenly, you're not doing enough. You've disappointed her, hurt her, failed to appreciate her. And the more you try to make things right, the more control she gains. This is how emotional manipulation takes root. You start walking on eggshells, monitoring what you say, how you act, even what you feel. You become hyper-aware of her moods, her tone, her approval. And without realizing it, you begin to lose yourself. There are a few common traits that can help you recognize a narcissistic woman. The first is entitlement. She believes she deserves special treatment, whether through admiration, loyalty, or attention. Everything revolves around her needs, and if you fail to meet them, she'll make you feel guilty for it. The second is victimhood. She often uses suffering as a form of control. Every conflict becomes proof that she's been wronged. If you try to hold her accountable, she'll shift the focus. Suddenly, you're the one who's cold, ungrateful, or insensitive. Her pain becomes a shield against responsibility. The third is image obsession. She's often deeply concerned with how she appears to others. She might seem generous, spiritual, or selfless in public, but behind closed doors, she's critical, dismissive, or manipulative. Her public image isn't a reflection of who she is. It's a construction she protects fiercely. And then there's jealousy. A narcissistic woman struggles to celebrate others genuinely. If someone else shines, she feels diminished. She may disguise her envy as advice, sarcasm, or subtle criticism, but at its core, it's the fear of being outshone. You'll also notice how she handles accountability. When she hurts you, she'll rarely apologize sincerely. She might deflect, blame you, or rewrite the story entirely. She'll say things like, "I never said that," or "You're too sensitive." Her goal isn't to resolve the issue, it's to maintain control of the narrative. Now, not every self-confident or outspoken woman is a narcissist. Healthy self-esteem can look similar on the surface. The difference lies in empathy. A healthy woman can hold space for your emotions while still owning hers. A narcissistic woman can't. Your feelings are only relevant when they serve her. So, what happens when you love someone like this? You often end up questioning your own reality. You try harder, you give more, and you slowly lose your sense of worth. Because she's trained you to believe that peace only exists when she's satisfied. That's the cycle: affection, withdrawal, guilt, repeat. And every time you go through it, you get a little smaller, a little quieter, a little less sure of yourself. Breaking free from a narcissistic woman means reclaiming your perspective. It means remembering that her moods aren't your responsibility, and her approval isn't proof of your value. It means setting boundaries and sticking to them, even when she calls you selfish for doing so. And here's something powerful to remember. The moment you stop reacting, her control begins to fade. Because narcissistic dynamics feed on attention, positive or negative. Silence, distance, and emotional neutrality are what set you free. In the end, narcissistic women aren't born villains. They're often people who learned early that manipulation keeps them safe, and empathy makes them vulnerable. Understanding that doesn't excuse their behavior, but it does help you see the full picture. You can have compassion without surrendering your boundaries. You can understand without excusing, and you can walk away without guilt. Because real love doesn't require you to shrink. It allows both people to exist fully, with empathy, respect, and emotional honesty. Till next time, take care of yourself.